Yeah, there obviously is. Yeah, and I sit here extremely disappointed because I know we've had our moments and we didn't take them, you know, and that's the disappointing part of it. Saying that, I thought South Africa were outstanding, particularly their bowling. Their bowling just kept coming at us, and the one thing that was always going to be tested was our young batting group. A couple have come through nicely, and a couple maybe not, but that was always going to be tested, and that was always going to be. I think I said, you know, optimistically, that if we were getting 270s and 280s, we were certainly in the game. At 180s in our first innings, we weren't, unfortunately.
With 5, how do you evaluate how the 2 different experiments work? Do you think the 5 bowler strategies are more stable long term?
Without a doubt. And I've always, as you know, I've always been a massive advocate for 5 bowlers, but the key is having the all-rounder at 7. So Shadab was unfit for the first test. He was physically fit for the second, but probably short of cricket. So it would be hard just dumping in there. But I think he showed in this test match that it gives us a real good flexibility. And we've got to play to our strength. That's the aggressive way to go. And we certainly 5 bowlers is our strength. A lot of positives in that department. I thought Baba Azam was outstanding. I think he's taken his cricket to another level. And the question marks that were always around Baba, I reckon would certainly disappear now, because I'd say question marks around his test cricket. I thought the way he played this series was amazing, and he'll just go from strength to strength now. I thought Sean Masood played exceptionally well at the top of the order at 3. I thought he did a hell of a good job for us. Asa Shafiq played two innings that were significant, and we, you know, everybody sort of else chipped in along the way, but we didn't get enough runs clearly. But saying that as well, you know, I thought the 430 obviously at Newlands was probably just too many from a very, very good bowling unit. So we've got some work to do, particularly in these conditions. So we'll go back and assess exactly where we want to be. We start our next test series in September. I think everybody goes into white ball mode now. We certainly have far better white ball team at the minute than we are test unit, but we'll get there. You know, again, we've realised the brand we want to play. We've had a look at personnel. We've had a look at who fits in and who's going to fit in going forward. So I'm pretty clear on the way we go, and certainly come September. September is the start of the Test Championships. So we've got to get a team that can play in all conditions, and we need to identify what those skill sets are.
Mickey, at Newlands, you were quite critical on the pitches. Now, after the three test series is done, what do you make of it, and do you think South Africa tend to overdo it with the preparation of the pitches?
No, and again, just to clarify for those that were at the press conference, the pitches, and I'm talking back when I was coaching from 2005 to 2010. I'm all for home ground advantage. And there should always be home ground advantage without a doubt. But all you want is consistent bounce. So the wicket can have as much grass on as you want. Consistent bounce is the key, and I think we saw certainly at Centurion and at Cape Town there was inconsistent bounce on day 1. So that was my point. I don't mind when there's inconsistent bounce on day 4. That's what happens to a normal test wicket, but it shouldn't be happening on day 1.
Months ago, Pakistan were faced with the task of replacing Misbah and Yunus. In the meantime, Azhar Ali's form dipped quite a bit till he's averaged under 28 in these last 18 months, and he had to go to a hair. What do you put his struggles down to, and what can Pakistan do to try and get him back to the player he is?
Look, I think, you know, and again, I'll just reiterate, Azhar Ali's a quality player, so you know, he'll go through these sort of form lapses, I guess. Technically, on wickets that bounce, I think we need to do a little bit of work. I think there was a trend. He was out 4 times, I think, pretty much the same way, and he admits it first up. You know, we chatted about it when he got out yesterday. He felt the line of full of fear just coming back in at him. He kept his gloves up when he should have been getting them down. But yeah, he's a quality player. As he goes away and plays for Somerset now, he'll have some time away from us, and then we'll reassess when we come in September. But as I say, you know, we've got pretty high standards as a Pakistan cricket team, and clearly we hate losing. So 3-0 down doesn't sit well. Certainly doesn't sit well with me, and I know it doesn't sit well with the dressing room. I can't, however, fault attitude, and I can't ever fault work ethic. The boys have worked incredibly hard on all their skills. And that's the squad that has put in all the effort and attitude. The guys have been fantastic. They've tried as hard as can be throughout this test series. So from that sense, I'm proud of them. The other sense, as I say, standards, we can never accept losing a test series.
Mickey, from your point of view, do you think the players, especially our batsmen, have to analyze themselves, their technique, their skills? Or the batting coaches have to analyze themselves how to pose it?
No, I think leave the coaches alone. I think going to the coaches is pretty harsh. The amount of work that Grant Flower puts in with the batsmen, that's pretty harsh straight up. In terms of techniques, yes, of course we have to analyse. You know, there's a reason why no subcontinent teams ever won in South Africa. No subcontinent teams ever come and won a test series here. Simply because Asian guys stay leg side of the ball. In these conditions, you need to stay off side of the ball. If you're going to get out with the short ball, if you're leg side of the ball consistently. So I think that we try to develop a game plan around those batsmen's techniques, and to a point at least we score. But we've got a lot of work to do, and again, as I said to a previous question, outside of our own conditions, we've got to find players with the skill set to manage the bouncing ball going forward. We play Sri Lanka and UAE in September, and then we play Australia in Australia straight after that. So we have to have our skill sets perfect to manage the bouncing ball by the time we get there.
Mickey, running calls, especially from inside Pakistan, for the inclusion of Forward Island, do you think that could have been maybe the key, a little bit more wiser hit on the side?
For the moment, the best batsmen in Pakistan are sitting in the dressing room. That answers the question.
Mickey, Safraz spoke about reassessing his captaincy after the series. What did you make of his captaincy throughout, in terms of his leadership?
I said that, and this question always arrives at the end of the series. I've always said Safraz, it goes from strength to strength. Safraz wants to lead from the front. Again, I thought his wicket keeping has been outstanding. His wicket keeping this series has been very, very good. So what we need is to get a good core of leaders around him, and if we can do that, he'll go from strength to strength.
Mickey, you mentioned getting batsmen with the skill set to handle the bouncing ball. Are you satisfied that in Pakistan domestic setup, though, that they can duplicate those sort of conditions so you can actually?
No, I'm talking about before Australia, getting our test batsmen into Australia 3-4 weeks early. I sit and plan months ahead. Who knows? I might not be around there in September. There's a World Cup to so I'm pretty realistic as to where we sit in terms of being a coach. But you've got to forward plan. We've already forward planned. We want to get our batters into Australia. We want to get them in there early into camps. That's the only way we can do it. I think both batting units have battled the series. I think the difference has been Quinton de Kock at 7. I think Quinton de Kock at 7 has played some unbelievable match-changing innings. The one at Centurion, he played, I thought, exceptionally well, and then he's come in a difficult situation here and got 100. And that's been the difference, I think, between the two batting groups.
Mickey, in the last 2 years, Sarfraz hasn't missed a game in any format. With the 5 ODIs and 3 T20s coming up, if he gets a rest, do you know who might take over as captain interim?
Daniel, you've been probing me on the captaincy issue for a long time. Yes, I do, but I'm not telling you.
Thank you.